and we are here at part 2 of your orientation into the website. The first thing, again, and leaving off from the first one, is where I have become a member of either the club website or the business website, depending. And as a member now, I have several options that you can see here. And going over the options from top to bottom, the first is where you see your info. Your info is basically the information that is of your account. Then the second one is your home, which will be where the user can go ahead and actually create their own home page through here. The third is comments, where they can sit and make comments on the website. This can be out of either other people's subscription journals or other people's who put up for their submissions for articles, stories, and so forth. You'll see where the next is messages. People can leave messages for other members on your website here. So if they have a friend who uses your website also from either Second Life or even in real life, they can go ahead and actually leave them a private message. The next thing you'll see on here is journal. People can keep their own personal journals through here. They can keep it and make it either private or public, and we'll go over that. Then the next thing here really is themes, where, as I had stated in the original, or rather the first orientation video, the first part, where people can select their own themes and how they wish to view your website. They are not necessarily restricted to what you may feel is the best theme for your website. The next thing you'll see on here is where they can just simply log out or exit. Here, where it shows on our status, it says the actual user status is online, which is me. As I stated before, you see where it says here that you are not subscribed to our newsletter and points you have by participating on the site's content. Meaning, if somebody joined your newsletter, they could go ahead and actually get, say, 10, 15, 25 points. If they submit an article to your website to help in expanding it, they can get another 25, 30 points and so forth. The reason you would like this and to give points is just simply that if you make it an active site and keep up with it, where you're keeping on top of how people are developing and the points that they have, you can give rewards for different points. Rewards either in real life or in Second Life. Possibly a free product or a coupon or something of this nature. Now, underneath, this would only be shown to anybody who happens to be an administrator of the site, which is you and possibly any of your staff members that you have helping you with your website. In the administrative functions, you'll see where it has my last user's IP address. The reason that this is handy to have is that many a times we may have people just in the same as visitors to your land who are a bit disruptive and you no longer want or need them there. That can also happen on your website as well. And you have the chance here to ban the IP or to edit the user. Underneath that, you see where it has user's karma. Here it shows where it's a good karma, meaning this is a normal good user. You can actually change that so that you can pretty much give out warnings to other people on your website, and especially to the administrative staff, where a flag marked shows that this person should be kept an eye on. A caution sign here shows that this is a bad karma. He can post comments, but the administrator should approve and moderate them from the admin panel. Then you also have the devil karma, which is very bad. This users are not allowed to post comments, and all his content is just ignored and nothing will be published. Underneath that, you'll see where it says send a private message to Javelin, which is the user online line. People can send me a private message just the same as I can send it to them. And scrolling down even further, you'll see where it shows my headlines. Now, my headlines for your users is where they can select from other different websites what headlines that they would like to read on their regular homepage that they are going to develop using your site. And as you can see, you have where they have many to choose from already. This is something that you can alter from the admin, but also they can put in a web address of their own. This is a nice feature for your users. It's what helps to make what your website would be known as sticky. Something where it might become their main home page every time they open up their browser, simply because it was more where they could develop the page on their own and see and read and look at everything that they want to, along with the content that you have. It also has, going further down, where they can broadcast a public message. Now, this public message that can be broadcast and so forth is where they may want to make an announcement, such as somebody is getting married that's a member of your website and they just wanted it to be known and so forth. They can go ahead and do that. Here below that, you see where it says your private messages, which shows that I have 0 right now because we just put that through. It would also show my last 10 comments and my last 10 new submissions. Now, to show some of the handy things that your users are able to do in going ahead, I'm just going to quickly change my theme here. In going through, you see where they have several different themes that they can choose from. One of my favorites has always been the 3D Fantasy. Once they click that and they decide to save their changes, all of a sudden you see where the website now is changed into a totally different theme view for me. This will not be the same theme view that may be seen by other users. It's only for me personally, being that this is how I prefer to view my content. So whatever theme you choose for the website, being the administrator, is the theme that a user will first see until they actually become a registered member, and where they can go through and change it on their own. And just going through in some areas such as the journal, where now you see that I can actually make a journal comment in there for myself, and when I add it, I can add a title, which I am just going to quickly put a little something here just so that we can see how that goes. And I'm just putting Captain's Log, I have arrived, if I can spell correctly here. And then from that, I can put a graphical user interface that I like, my smileys, and most important, I can decide whether I want to have that public or not. And I decide for this one, since it's kind of a silly one, that I'll just keep it to myself. There's no reason for other people to just wonder if I'm insane or not. The next thing that you see here is for the messages, where I can look at the messages that I may have received from other members. This is again kind of handy instead of going through with emailing back and forth to other people involved with the website, other members that are friends of mine that I wanted to keep in touch with. Especially handy when Second Life crashes or logins are not available or IMs are capped. This is another great place where they can go ahead and IM one another. And it's also fantastic because it helps to make where your website is that much more usable. In the comments area is where we can see that I can view all the different comments. I can add 2 different comments, and later on you can see where I can make a comment on any submissions such as articles, news stories. If there is an event that's happening, I can even leave a comment that states that I plan on attending. So that way in your events from now on, you can almost have an idea of how many people will be there. Now, in going into my home is where I can activate and have my own personal menu system for my home pages. Again, another great way to make it sticky for people to go through there. And in my info is where I can change anything within regards to what I would like to have done. Now, I do suggest going through